Braw and the Brave with me, Lisa Kennedy. And before I introduce my amazing guest to you, I have to say, please, if you're not already, go and give us a wee follow on the old socials. We're on TikTok now. Yep, down with the kids and all that. Instagram, Facebook, and we're also on Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, that is where you're getting all the extra content. Yeah, and for the price of a coffee, guys, you're getting some excellent, juicy extras there. So please come and join us on Patreon. We would massively appreciate it. But that's me done a bit to camera. Now I can introduce my amazing guest this week, Sanjeev Kohli. You're on the Braw and the Brave. I can't believe it.
Finally.
Yay! It's so lovely to see you. I feel like we keep meeting, like, you know, maybe like 10 years apart. So we're talking like we met years ago. Doing...
Well, it was the STV Appeal.
Yes.
It was the 24 hour. Was it a 24 hour?
Yeah, it was like dance marathon.
Marathon.
Totally.
And I remember, was it in a gym hall or was it like in a dance
I think
theatre?
It was maybe in like
that way when like school gym halls always smell of dried sick. It was one of them ones where you go, oh, right, okay, yeah, there's a Janny nearby with a bucket of sawdust. And John Meekie was there when I was there.
That's right.
I remember Stephen Purden was doing it. But you literally just told me just now that the Biggin was there.
And you missed him.
And I missed him. And that, I met him once.
Okay.
He's a massive hero of mine. I mean, the thing is, I mean, we could talk about him for an hour.
You could literally, I know, totally.
I mean, he was a total hero of mine because it was the weirdest thing because when so I grew up as, my mum and dad came over from India to the UK 66, then moved to Glasgow in 73. So I'm 3 years old, rocking up in Glasgow, wee brown specky guy, living in Bishopbriggs, and I'm learning about Scottish culture because I'm a blank canvas. Okay. So things that people took for granted, I didn't know what the Crankies were. I'd never seen an Orange Walk. That was an eye opener. Let's not go there. And so, like, I remember the other thing about growing up in an Asian family is that there are no Beatles and Stones albums or MC5 or Fleetwood Mac. It was like Bollywood tunes and Sikh devotional songs, which are fine.
Amazing, yeah.
But, I needed to know what my white pals were listening to. And for some reason, in the record collection was a Billy Connolly album, Billy Connolly Bites Your Bum. And that's what it was called.
Love it.
And really scary looking guy. Because at that point, he didn't have an orthodontist yet. And his hair was pure
all
like that.
Yes.
Just mad. He just looked like he'd exploded in your living room.
Who is this person?
And I was like, who is that guy?
Character.
And I remember, I think I knew his name, so clearly he was a big deal by the time I was 7. Yeah. Which he was, because that would be 1977. So he'd have broken out in Glasgow, certainly.
Absolutely.
And then I saw him on Parkinson, the chat show.
Yes.
And I just remember, there's that guy. And he was, so the format of Parkinson was a bit like Graham Norton. Parkinson was the was the host and there'd be 3 guests.
Yes.
So Billy Connolly, I think, had done his bit, and then Angie Dickinson came on. Now, Angie Dickinson, I'll need to explain to you because you're considerably younger than me.
I'm not, but
well,
thank
you
for that.
You are. And also, we need to think of the TikTok people that are watching.
We do. Yeah, they're doing a great job of explaining this.
So,
youngsters.
Well, youngsters, back in the day when there was 3 channels, and I used to work up a chimney.
I was doing a coal mine.
Exactly. So Parkinson had the biggest chat show.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday night thing.
Absolutely.
Everyone sat and watched
watching
Parkinson.
it, yeah.
And because it was the only show in town, he got all the big hitters. So Angie Dickinson was at that time, probably the biggest global TV show that year, I think called Policewoman. Mm-hmm. So she was proper global TV star, right? And there's Billy Connolly from Glasgow. Yeah. I'm thinking,
were you cringing? Were you?
Well, not cringing, but just a bit trepidatious.
Okay,
like,
interesting.
Please, represent us.
Yeah, okay, I understand this. Yes,
also, there's a weird subtext of me trying to find my identity.
Got you.
And I want to be.
You're like, I know this guy.
I want to be a Ouija as well. I want to lean into the Ouija.
He does a really good job.
Or if he does, if he funks it for me,
then I know him. Yeah. He's my pal.
Yeah. So I'm like. Ugh. And then he was telling us a brilliant story about how he supported Elton John on tour in the States and said, they weren't expecting me. I just rock up. And he said, people throwing pipes at him. He said, talk about a pipe coming like this. He says, but it went through my beard because my chin ends here, doesn't end there. And then he said, I was made to feel as welcome as a fart in a spacesuit. Yes. Right? Now, so he said that line, and Angie Dickinson laughed so hard she nearly fell off the seat. But she had this weird kind of, I think she just had a face that she was, and Billy Connolly had to wait for her to stop laughing.
You're like, are you okay?
And I don't know whether a button was pressed in my brain at that point, but I'm thinking, so, okay, a guy from Glasgow can make that global
That superstar laugh like that till she falls off her chair.
Then
He's my hero.
he's my hero. And also, it also shows that you can just be yourself and you can be internationally funny. So, I don't know, maybe a button went off in my head, but I worshipped Billy Connolly ever since. And I do think an audience with Billy Connolly, I mean, everyone knows that routine off by heart. Have a custard cream father, that's what they're there for. The Big Slipper, all of that stuff. I mean, we all know it off by heart.
Yeah.
I think it's yet to be topped.
Yeah.
For me, that is the kind of the beam of comedy.
And then, like, meeting him, I felt like he's the kind of person that you're like, oh, I know him.
Aye.
And it was exactly how you wanted him to be.
Yeah.
And and you're talking about icons. Hello. Here's another Scottish icon sitting right in front of me. People, when they meet you, will get to know you, I guess, or are coming to you as, oh, I think I know you. I think I know your character. But can I just say, on the occasions, and it's not been any length of time, but anytime I have met you, you have been nothing but just lovely. And that's why I asked you to come on the podcast, because you made me feel like I knew you.
Oh.
And that was really kind of you. I remember you saying like, oh, I've heard of the Braw and the Brave. And I was like, day made. So can I just thank you for that? Because
I mean,
Billy Connolly
I
did
was
the
lying
same.
on my teeth. I had no idea what it was.
But you're so good at the lying.
Yeah.
You were lying to me earlier on saying that my sister was Sheena Easton's.
Oh, I nearly had you.
You totally had
I
me.
nearly gaslit
I
you into
forgot you're
thinking
good at
you were
the
Sheena
acting.
Easton's half sister. Or half niece or something. But I wish I'd kept a straight face.
I know you totally had me. I was like, what? She had a secret maybe.
But actually, Joe, you've hit on something there.
I didn't say it very eloquently, but you know where I was going with that.
No, I do, and I get it because I've been on both sides of it. So I lost my shizzle when I saw Peter Capaldi in the Apple shop in Buchanan Street. So when people are a wee bit that
to
with me,
you.
I'm like, mate, please,
Just
honestly, it's just me. But then I get it. I totally get it. But the that thing about, I mean, I think I am quite a nice, personable human being anyway. But I think where that comes from is that I weirdly being an Asian guy that grew up in Bishopbriggs, a very vanilla neighbourhood of Glasgow, and then getting sent to fee-paying Catholic school where I was one of 3 Asians in the building. Okay. I think I've always felt like I represented. So there's this thing of, if I hold the door open for that person, they'll think that all Asians are polite. And I've always had that. And my mum and dad always instilled into us, look, you need to be twice as good and you need to be twice as inscrutable because, we are outsiders here. I mean, I was a generation to be born in the UK, they weren't. So they had that kind of one foot in the suitcase mentality, whereas I'm like, I know I look a wee bit different, but I am. But you spend your formative years finding who you are and coming to the realization that you can be two things. It's not an issue. You pull focus as and when. But but part of that was me feeling like I represented, probably unfairly, but it probably made me possibly overly kind of gentlemanly. And then add into the mix when I have a vague level of celebrity and I'm on the telly. I don't want people to, also
want the
I'm one
narrative
of the,
to be
but so it's like I'm one of the few kind of visibly different people on the telly now, so that's up the stakes in terms of representation. But also, I don't want people thinking I'm a dick because I'm on the telly. So you add that into the mix.
a lot of pressure's going on there.
So yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So what
Just as well, you're a nice person.
What I'm saying to you is that's why I lied about pretending to know you. That's why I lied about
Don't crush my dreams.
No, I did. No. And also, I knew you from the Kennedy Cupcakes.
You did. Yeah.
Which I loved.
The many hats that we have to wear in this industry, and you'll know that.
Side hustle.
All the side hustles.
Yeah. I sell out-of-date curly whirlies just from a truck. I mean, there's a lawsuit. Someone got diarrhea, so I've had to go on the down.
Choice of curly whirly, isn't it?
Curly whirly. Well, what I like about the curly whirly is that the actual chocolate content is minimal.
Yeah. So actually, it's quite good because you're only eating about 100 calories, but you're getting your chocolate fix.
My argument.
I'm down for that.
That's my argument. There's that much. It's probably a chomp's worth of chocolate, but you're walking out with. I need to tell you this story.
Do it.
Have you met Mark Cox that plays Tam?
Briefly, but yes.
Mark is one of the driest, funniest people you'll ever meet.
Okay.
Get him on, by the way.
Okay.
But I'm going to actually tell one of his stories, so he tells it better.
So, like, don't tell that story. It's already been done.
No, but I need to tell it because you mentioned curly whirlies, right?
Okay, yes.
So he was, he'd been out the night before and he was feeling a bit hungover and he really, really needed a can of Iron Brew and a curly whirly, right? So he goes into his local shop run by an Asian family, right? So he gets a can of Iron Brew from the cabinet. He's like, ugh. And then he goes to the chocolate stanchion, as I call it, and he's scanning for curly whirlies. Topic, Snickers, Kit Kat.
Curly whirly.
Yeah. Curly whirly, scans it like 2-3 times. Orkney Fudge, Yorkie, Ritter Sport, everything. No curly whirlies, right? Where's the curly whirlies? So he said the guy that ran the shop, he was the most miserable guy. He never looked up from his paper.
Okay.
His Punjabi newspaper. So he's like, he says, mate, have you got any curly whirlies? And the guy didn't even look up. Don't stock curly whirlies too long for shelf. And yet, they might be too long for the shelf, but there's that much chocolate in them. So that is the ongoing dilemma, the ongoing paradox, if you will, of the curly whirly.
If they were to shorten them, then everybody would be up arms. It's like that thing, like, they used to be bigger. I remember when they were bigger.
People forget their hands get bigger. Their hands get bigger. Yeah, the wagon wheel. I mean, you know what I mean? The wagon wheel was always that.
So true.
I think was always that size.
Massive when you were wee.
Here's the other thing, right? While we're on it, chocolate paradox. Fun size Mars bar. Are you telling me that the amount of fun you have is inversely proportional to the... I'm sorry, a fun-sized Mars bar should be that size.
Totally. I think the
big enough to put you in a diabetic coma. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's reverse psychology.
Like, you're having loads of fun.
I never bought into it, though. I never bought into it.
That's why they come in packs of like 24. Yeah. You've to eat them all.
Are they also saying as well that if you had like a molecule of Mars bar, that'd be the ultimate... That'd be like
euphoria.
10 tabs of ecstasy. Do you know what I mean? A wee
People
dollop.
have not tapped in it because they're too greedy. They're eating it all. They've not tapped into the euphoria of eating a smidgen of...
I'm glad we've talked about the chocolate paradox. It's really important.
This is the important stuff that we want in the Braw brain. That's what I love about this podcast. We never know where we're going. So, taking you back for a wee second to being that wee guy, was there aspirations, dreams, goals to do a particular thing?
To be a doctor.
Me too.
That was my... Oh, really?
Yes, when I was at school, but I didn't get the grades.
But see, I did because I was that guy. Oh, yeah.
I was that girl, but I didn't quite...
All the hires, none of the pals. That was me. That was genuinely me.
I would have been your pal at school.
Were you quite...
yeah.
What school were you at?
I was at Brannock High School in Urt Hill.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So I grew up in Bishopbriggs. Mm-hmm. So... Again, it's that kind of thing about another part of being, I think anyway, part of an immigrant community, but especially in the Asian community, is you end up being a people pleaser whether you want to or not, because you're pleasing family, you're pleasing the community, you're pleasing everyone at the temple.
Okay.
So I was just quite book smart from an early age. I remember being in primary 2 in Middleburn Primary in Bishopbriggs, and the teacher, I don't know why, but she asked me to spell the word physics, right?
Well. Oh.
And I spelled it. And then she took me to see the headmistress. And I thought, how badly did I spell the word physics that I'm getting frog marched to see the heat? So when I got into her office, I'm like, spell physics. And I went, Z, W, F, 3 G's and an E. I thought...
She was actually...
But it actually turned out...
It's amazing he can spell that at that age.
And I think the headmistress had said to my mum, look, you should probably send him private. I think he's kind of quite bright and stuff. I only found this out 30 years after the event, right?
Wow.
Because then suddenly I'm wearing a green uniform and I got my wee national glasses. I'm getting 2 buses to my school, and all my pals locally are snubbing me because they think that I think I'm better than them.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, this wasn't my choice.
Like, didn't sign up for this.
I wanted to go to P4 with you guys.
Yeah.
And
Bless you.
So, I also had real problems with my eyes. So I'm really, really... Put them on, Lisa. Okay? Yeah. So that's how blind I am. Bats talk about me. I've been myopic since the age of 4. And also I've got glaucoma, which is high pressure inside the eyes.
What I was meant to go and study was optometry, actually, at Bradford University.
Seriously?
Yeah, I got into Bradford, but because I didn't get into medicine. So then the next thing was optometry.
So you didn't start it? Or?
I didn't go. Yeah, I wasn't ready to move away. So yeah, I didn't. I was like...
But you could have done it. Could you not at Cali do optometry?
Yeah, I can't remember
at the
whether
time,
I
Nicole
got
Kelly,
I think maybe I got a conditional or something for there, but I got into Bradford and didn't go. Anyway, that's a side note.
So you're a creative that nearly went into academia?
Yeah, I know. Well, I did
Bit
go
like
to
me.
university. I did an English degree.
Okay, but you did a more creative degree. I did a maths degree, which is the least creative
I
degree you
went
can
in
do.
through psychology.
Oh, right, okay.
came out with
is that the
English
move you have
degree.
to do? Is that then?
And then became a dancer.
Well, I was going to say, I thought she's a dancer.
Totally. But yes.
So,
okay,
yes.
yes.
So the
Your
plan
eyesight,
was that I'd become a doctor, because I kind of thought, well, I'm in and out of ophthalmologist offices. I'd quite like to be on the other side of the
I know
machines.
this world.
Yeah, I know this world. And also, I knew it would please my mum and dad, because my mum and dad, bless them, by Asian standards, very liberal, very broad-minded, but fucking obsessed with doctors. It's just a thing. It is just a thing.
Like doctors.
So I knew that they would make them happy. So and I knew I could get the grades, because the thing was, I was a bit of an all-rounder. I was really good at maths and English, but I was also really good at biology and physics and chemistry. I knew I could get the grades, and I did. And then I got to Glasgow Uni Medical School, and within 2 days I knew I'd made a mistake. I thought, well, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Because what are your career options? GP, hospital doctor. I don't want to. I hate hospitals. I don't want to. Why would I want that to be my place to work?
That's going to be my life, yeah.
Quite a basic mistake I've made here. So I switched to do a maths degree, because I was good at maths, and because women find you really attractive.
Yep.
It was honestly, don't judge me, but I was good at maths and I like maths. So I thought, well, do you know what? Why don't I do a degree in maths? Because that'll almost buy me some time before I really want to know what I do in my life. Yeah. And it's a good degree to have. I mean, it indicates an ordered mind. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but
correct. That's why I'm not good at maths.
Well, yeah, I don't know actually. But anyway, so I got my maths degree, and I started a postgrad actually in maths, but I wasn't that bright to do that, and I sort of quickly found myself out of my depth. So I came, and that was down south in Royal Holloway College, which was part of London University, except it wasn't London; it was Surrey, which is beautiful but dull.
Okay,
nothing there.
Right.
I remember going for a walk in the village, and this really lovely older woman came out and said, "Excuse me, young man, what day is it today?" I thought, I can't live in a place where people don't know what day it is. I can't live here.
Keep up.
Can't do this. I can't do this. So
Yeah.
I came back to Glasgow, and I kind of signed on and watched Neighbours twice a day, and I went travelling for a bit.
Did you?
And,
Okay.
And all the while trying to just kind of like get an idea of where I was going with my life, knowing I had a maths degree, so I had options, but I didn't really fancy the options. I mean, I didn't fancy accountancy or being an actuary, working for an insurance company. I mean, you can earn stupid money doing it, but
where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that? I always remember, do you remember the milk round?
Yeah.
So again, for the TikTok guys, and at your final year at uni, companies would come. It's called the milk round, and they'd come and try and recruit you.
Right, yeah.
So me being in a final year maths student, the insurance companies would come, and they would try to sell the idea.
Incentives.
Well, yeah, but the only incentive was if you sit 13 exams, you could drive a Porsche. But they never. That's what they should have said. But they were trying to say it's actually very rewarding to work out the risk. I went, mate, just show us your private number plate.
Show us the Dodge.
Because let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't fancy that. I did fancy the accountancy route. I mean, not judging anyone. It's just
No,
it
it's
wasn't
just
for
not
me.
it wasn't for you.
I mean, Christ knows we need accountants and actuaries.
We absolutely
it's just,
do.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, self-employed, I'm like, I need an accountant.
Do you know what I mean? Teaching, I thought, okay, my dad was a maths teacher. And
okay. Well.
I'd done a bit of tutoring as a favour for a pal, because she used to run these supported study groups. And I went along, and I remember this like very clearly. There was this girl, she was 15, and I was teaching her the equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c, where m is a gradient, c is a cut off on the y-axis. But I managed to explain it to her, and I just saw this light going on behind her eyes, and I thought, if I can get that once a week, I could teach.
It, yeah.
But then it just depends on your school, doesn't it? A lot of schools are just like crowd management or trying not to die.
Yeah, yes.
So I thought, okay, teaching maybe, but then it wasn't grabbing me. And then I fell into radio presenting, because it was basically a friend of mine who asked me if I wanted. She is. I always call it the phone call that changed my life, because she phoned me up, and I need to explain. So Uzma Mir. So she's a family friend. She was a couple of years older than me, and I knew her at uni. And I always describe her as one of the Asians that escaped. Now, what I mean by that is that she didn't go into the family business, but equally she didn't do one of the, accountancy or law or engineering or medicine. She went into the media. And I remember being...
Unheard of.
A wee bit at that time.
Yeah.
But also thinking, oh, God, I wish I was that interesting that I could do what Uzma does, right? So then she phones me up and she said, what are you up to these days? And I said, well, look, I just watched Neighbours twice.
Living the dream.
And because you remember that when Neighbours was on, and it was the same episode. Yes. And I had a theory that they changed a word or two. They don't. It took me a year to work that out. It's the same episode, just fully repeated. Right. And I would study Helen Daniels assiduously. So she said, look, left field, but I'm producing a radio show and I'm trying to basically cast the net. I'm trying to attract new talent, non-obvious talent. And I thought of you. I said, well, it's very flattering, but got a maths degree. Which is the
what
least...
can I bring to this?
Well, yeah, because it's the least creative thing, right? Maths is maths, right? You can't really argue that 2 and 2 isn't 4.
I know, but all the way you're talking about this person who's clever and is getting, the maths degree. But in terms of personality, were you a confident, outgoing person?
Not until I got to uni.
Okay.
I was very, very shy, very diffident. Didn't really like who I was, actually, until about the age of... So I hated school, right? I don't think it was the actual school I went to. I just think my issue with school was that you were branded the day you went in. Yeah. So, you go in at first year, you're that guy. You're the studious guy. And things, I love my music, I love my comedy, but I was always going to be that guy.
I was the same. Yeah. I kept my dance hidden when I was at school. Yeah, totally, because I was the academic one. Yeah, I was like the SWAT, the teacher's pet, the people pleaser.
That was me. That's totally me.
Yeah.
Absolutely me.
Yeah.
And so, and also it was a private school. We all wore uniform. You can't express yourself through your clothes. And I love my clothes. I still do. Yes. So I just didn't get a chance to express myself with my peers.
She must have seen something in you.
Well, she did, because by the time I got to university, I think I remember people are actually interested in what I've got to say, and that had never happened before. And
because you're such a great storyteller and conversationalist, I have to say, and I know obviously years of experience in being an adult and being in the world and doing the job that you do, but you're such a you're just such a natural.
Well, I don't know where I found that. I mean, I think it was at university. I found it, and I think in retrospect, I'd actually learned, because I was academic and I thought I was learning in the classroom, I think I was learning watching comedy, people like Billy Connolly, shows like The Young Ones, shows like The Two Ronnies, Kenny Everett television show, absolutely. I think, because I'm obsessed with those things. I mean, I was the guy, I was known as the Young Ones bore. So when The Young Ones came on the telly, again, you're a bit younger than me, but you probably do remember The Young Ones.
Oh, yeah.
But I was 13, 14 when it came out. So I was probably still too young to appreciate it fully, but appreciated it enough. And it felt like it was talking to me or ish.
Just a light bulb.
Yeah. So I'd be like, did anyone see The Young Ones? And to the point where, did you see The Young Ones? I'm doing the quotes and people are like, do you mind? I'm trying to eat my toffee crispy.
Trying to find your tribe.
Yeah. So I think I must have learned comedy. But also, I mean, I do think this... And again, you only realise these things in retrospect. Why comedy? And I think I know why now. I think it's because I was always an outsider. And I'm not moaning about this because I've made it work for me. But, I was 3 years old when my folks moved up to Glasgow. And I'm in Bishopbriggs in the north of Glasgow. So, I'm brown, I'm specky as well. My dad's a turban Sikh. My mum was a Shivar Kameez. I'm an outsider. And the good thing about that is that you see things for what they are. So like Billy Connolly talks about it, it's like you just why is no one else seeing?
You're on the periphery, so you get to look out.
Yeah.
Not be in it.
Yeah. Because when you're in it, you don't see it. You don't see the wood for the trees. But I could see the wood for the trees.
Okay.
And then I get sent to fee-paying Catholic school. So the Catholic religion, which is hilarious, by the way. I don't want to get into trouble, but whoa. So I'm still like,
just
really?
religion in general. Lots of things going on.
That's a full other podcast, which I'm happy to indulge in. But so I think always having that slight outsider's perspective meant I could maybe see things for what they are. A lot of the time, that's what comedy is. It's what people like Michael McIntyre are very good at doing.
Yeah.
It takes him to say,
Just that
talk about,
observation and seeing your...
why do guys insist on taking all the shopping bags in one go? It's like, he's obviously like just stepped outside the situation because he has that perspective.
Yes.
And I guess that's where that came from for me in terms of comedy being a home for me. But then I just loved consuming comedy. And in those days, there were only 3 and then 4 channels. So you tended to get the best stuff. You do like Cheers and Latterly Fraser. And, you got the best of the best. And you could absolutely inhale that and make it work for you.
And I guess a lot of people will know you from a particular show.
That's right. I played Margaret Thatcher in The Crown. The ladies not for turning. I know. It's like an albatross around my neck. No, absolutely, and happy to be.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm interested in it is the before and the after, as well as being on this iconic show like Still Game. Do you know what I mean? It was very and still is very much part of my world. Like I literally felt at one point I could play a part. I loved the show, loved it, and I'm sure you've got.
Let me hear, Isa.
Can't.
Who do you do?
Jane's coming on soon.
I see it. Work on it then.
I mean,
let's hear you, Navid.
Oh no, that's not happening. That's not happening. Although I do love the whole bit where
I can do a tutorial in how to do Navid.
Okay.
Okay, right. Say dinner torties.
No, not even going there.
So no, it's fine. No, I've given you permission.
But I'm terrible. I'm not an actress. I'll put that out there. And accents are my nemesis. I could act if I get to be probably just like a chavvy version of myself. That's my stretch.
But then the thing about, and you'll find this yourself, is like the reason I could play Navid is I knew him. He was like a Ouija version of my dad. So you're probably good at playing like, you could probably do a very good impersonation of your aunt.
Yeah.
And then I know when I do characters, I'm always focusing on someone. I need a hook to hang on.
Yeah, okay, fair
and
enough.
someone very real.
Yes.
Rather than an abstract concept. It has to be a Guy Derrick I knew or whatever. And Navid was very much my dad, but just because I had the Glasgow Asian thing, it always fascinated me. Again, because weirdly I was an Asian in a white world, but also I was what's called a coconut. Now let me break that down for you. A coconut is a derogatory term used in the Asian community for someone that's brown on the outside but white on the inside. So I'm ostensibly an Asian person, but I wasn't really into Bhangra and R&B. I was kind of into Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and Nirvana. So I always felt like I'm not into what they're into either. Right. So I was always, it was this weird identity thing. Like I don't quite fit in either world. So I found the whole Glasgow Asian accent absolutely hilarious. And the thing is, right, because when you go, like I did to Langside College, you're hanging out with these guys all the time, yeah. See, I knew a guy called Syed, right? He used to say to me, thing is, Sanjeev, right, I've got cousins play hockey, right? If you wrong me, they break your fucking legs, yeah, with hockey sticks. Wow. And I'm like, this is music. And then
you're like, give me more.
And then also, I love that thing of when, and this is very much, this is very much about cultural assimilation as well. Is like when my mum would say things like occasionally, because my mum, like educated social worker, teacher and stuff, had a vaguely Indian accent, but very, very articulate. But occasionally she'd say things, "Don't worry, I am brand new," and that was hilarious. Like hearing that someone saying brand new, but in that a slightly different accent. So I loved that Glasgow Asian thing. So when Navid arrived, I thought, well, this is my chance to bring on my Governor Hill.
I mean, all the characters in that show very well developed, but Navid's such an iconic character from that show, and I guess you probably don't go a day without somebody mentioning it or shouting out a quote from Navid or saying how much what the show means to them. And obviously, there's been offshoots from the show, like the TV things, and I guess you're still doing things that are linked to Still Game.
Yeah. I mean, it'll always be part of my life, and I always wanted to be part of my life because, on a slightly more serious level, and I can take no credit in writing, Navid. Ford and Greg write every single word of Still Game, every single word, even the punctuation, even everything, and it was them that had the, I would say, courage to write. a 70-something Asian Muslim shopkeeper who, by the way, celebrates the stuff we have in common. You know, especially now. I think we need to remind people that humans are humans.
Yeah.
And I might look different from you, and I might eat different food, and I might have different, you know, like ways. But I think Navid was celebrated what we had in common. And if Navid was the only Asian in your life, albeit fictional, but was written so well, and obviously I could bring what I could bring. I could bring the authenticity.
You have to bring that to life.
Yeah. Between that writing and performing of the character, if we together can bring an authentic Asian character that you like, then we're winning. So I'm very, very happy to, when kids like Navid, I love that. I absolutely adore that, because kids will cross the street to tell you if you're shite, okay? And it's so good when, I'm particularly gratified when kids get Navid. I remember playing five-a-sides in Drumchapel years ago, and I just heard someone go, Mina! And I turned around, and honestly, there's a wee guy, really, really pale, red-haired guy in an oversized North Face jacket.
Right.
And I'm like, who said that? He says, I said it. I said, no, you know, I did. I said, do it again. All right. No. I was howling with laughter. But then it doesn't always work, because round about that same time, I was at my sister-in-law's house. So my wife's nephew, Harry, I think was 10 at the time, he had a pile of his pals for a sleepover, and they heard that Navid's in the house. So they decided to put on a wee kind of still game scene.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right, I'll be Isa, you be Tam, and you be Winston, you be Jack, you be Victor. And Blair got to be Navid. Blair, freckly ginger, right? I'll be Navid. Oh, she's my favourite. I'll be Navid, right? So then Jack and Victor go into this wee shop, and then Blair pipes up. I'm like, let's see what comes out of Blair's mouth. Right. He says, here is your chewing gum, and here is your change. Oh, Jamaican patois.
Right.
Right. Then I thought, well done on going for it.
Yes.
But you got it a bit wrong. You got it a bit wrong.
Not quite there.
That was hilarious.
Wow.
But when kids like Navid, it warms the cockles of my heart.
Of course. But all the while have other creative goals and endeavours aside from this amazing legacy of still game. I'm assuming you had other dreams and aspirations.
I mean, I think I always wanted. I was a writer. I was a radio presenter who became a comedy writer, who became a comedy performer, who became an actor. That's the kind of trajectory. But I think comedy is always where I live. But I've always wanted to write comedy. Okay. And the goal is to perform comedy that you've written, and I've been lucky enough to do that through the years. Fags, Mags and Bags is a Radio 4 comedy that we are about to record the very last one.
I saw this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for people that don't know, it's another shopkeeper, but I've tried to make him very different from Navid. I should probably explain the genesis of the show, actually. So way back in 2007, I want to say. So I write with a guy called Donald McCleary, who is the funniest man that I know. He's a genius. Okay. And he should be doing more acting, but he's a very, very gifted writer. And he absolutely makes me raise my game every time we work together. So Donnie and I had worked up a pilot show called Ruby. And it was about an Asian female in, I'd say, I think mid to late 20s, who was an aspiring actress. She was an actress, but wasn't getting the work. Yeah. And so she had to also work in a DSS office and also do shifts in her dad's shop.
Right, got you.
So there's one scene in this pilot episode where she goes to see her dad in the shop, and he says, "You think this is beneath you, don't you?" "What do you mean? You think this is shopkeeping is beneath you?" "Well, shopkeeping is an art form. Do you know I'm going to prove it to you? You pretend to be, you do your acting, and you can come in and you can pretend to be Mrs. Bradley, and I'm going to sell you a box of milk tray that you didn't think you needed." So this whole scene where he improvises. She says, "Oh my God." So that was the middle scene in this half-hour script, right? Mm. And Colin Gilbert, who was the producer at the comedy unit at the time, said, "That's my favourite 3 pages. Just write that. Write that character."
Yeah, okay.
So that became Ramesh.
Wow, gosh, eh?
And the thing was that obviously by that point, Navid was a thing. And Navid is very deadpan and very down here. And junkie bastard. And I thought, what I need to do is I need to take all the bass out of his voice. But also, Ramesh is a very nice man, you see. He's very encouraging. So the thing about Shop, which I think one of the many, many things about Shop, which intrigues me is the power that a shopkeeper has. Because a shopkeeper, whether he or she wants to or not, knows everything about you. So, for example, if you come into a shop, if you buy, like Anglers Monthly, well, you like to fish. I know that. If you come in and you buy a word search and a bottle of Lucozade, you've got
when you visit somebody in hospital.
Thank you. You've got an unwell pal or relative.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're spot on. That's the truth.
So you have this kind of this knowledge and this power. What do you do with that power? You could do nothing with that power, or you could try to bring people together.
Nice.
And so I always saw Fags, Mags and Bags as a sort of a dry version of Cheers, where Sam Malone was the kind of like he brings these people together. Yeah, almost, pretty much. Yeah. And in the first episode, the very, very, very first episode of Fags, Mags and Bags, the very first scene, a wee boy Keenan comes in trying to buy Benson and Hedges. 12 Benson and Hedges, please. No. 10 Benson and Hedges. No. 1 Benson and Hedges. I told you, Keenan, you're 10 years old. I'm doing Navid now. I told you. I thought, God, wrong shopkeeper. I told you, Keenan, you can't buy. You're not allowed. And what we try and do is we say, oh, Keenan, he's gone off the rails. I remember when he used to be, into science and stuff. He's gone off the rails a wee bit. And I try and fix up his mum with someone nice. Anyway, the point is I'm trying to orchestrate things. His life. But he's a very nice person, you see. And I try to take the bass out of his voice to make him very different from me. And also, when I was, we had an uncle in London, who was a friend of my dad, and he spoke like this. You talk about Jimmy Carter, a bloody peanut farmer, isn't it? You talk like this. So I'm having that. I'll just take his accent. Let's do him. And so that's how Ramesh was born. And then Donnie played Dave, who was like pretty much kind of like, we were like kind of mum and dad of the shop. And the two sons, who were my sons, were the two boys. And we started in 2007 and we became the longest running Scottish comedy in any format. Wow. But we are doing the last one.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, things have a shelf life, you know what I mean? Personally, I could keep going. The reason being that what Donnie and I like to do is reflect the world through the medium of Shop. So whatever's annoying us at the time, be it racial tension, be it TikTok, be it Facebook Marketplace, anything that's annoying us, we can actually deal with. And the beauty of the Shop scenario is, always compare it to, remember Home and Away? Yeah. Closer each day, right? Caravan park, right? Yeah. So anyone can come to a caravan park, and it's the same as a shop. Yes. Anyone can come into a shop. A hypnotist, that's true. A giraffe enthusiast. Do you know what I mean?
The world is your oyster.
A hardened racist. Anyone can come into the shop, and that can be your story of the week.
How do we deal with that?
So, and it's dealing in that microcosm
you're never going to
shop.
run out of ideas.
Well, yeah. So we could have kept going, and who knows? Maybe we will in some form or other. But this will be the last time we do it for Radio 4. Okay. And the beauty of what we're doing with the last show is that we never did the show with an audience, because a lot of Radio 4 comedy has an audience, but I just wanted to cram as many jokes and half-baked observations in half an hour as possible. I didn't want to wait for laughter that may or may not come, let's be honest. Okay, so I just want to be this kind of like juggernaut. Yeah. Because a lot of people say the reason they like Fags, Mags and Bags is that you have to listen to it multiple times to get all the gags. So quality. Cool. Value for money, very important. Yes. but we are doing it with an audience.
Oh gosh.
Which we've done before. We did it at the festival. And
but what a lovely way to end it like that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think so.
People in the room like getting that reaction.
Yeah. So that's happening next month. I don't know when this goes out, as in this podcast, but we're recording it at Ormore in Glasgow.
Nice one. And all the other things that you do, I guess people maybe living in that still game world or Dept Q world knowing you from various things will not realise that, again, it's wearing all the hats. So it's doing radio, it's presenting. I mean, today you've been doing some very interesting things.
Yeah. I mean, I always dress like this in case I get hit by a bus.
I literally was like, you're very dapper.
Thank you.
Very dapper.
I'm wearing clean pants.
I'm glad to hear it.
Because
I would expect
in case
no
you
less.
get hit by a bus. You could eat your dinner off my pants. I wouldn't recommend it. But you could.
But they're looking pristine.
Thank you. No. So yeah, today I do like a bit of comparing and presenting work.
Yeah.
In fact, today the reason I'm dressed like this is I just came from Edinburgh, where I was the keynote speaker at the Alzheimer's Scotland conference, because my dad passed away last year and he had Alzheimer's, and I'd been chatting. I played a charity football game for Alzheimer's, and one of the women there said, "It's really funny the stories you tell about your dad. Would you be up for just chatting about your experience?"
Yeah,
So yeah, so I do a bit of that as well, and because my entry level into the media was as a radio broadcaster, I find this very natural. This format very natural.
I come across beautifully.
Yeah. Am I talking too much?
No, absolutely not.
I'll give you a break.
No, please don't.
By the way,
Please keep talking.
That's how my dad used to drink tea, right?
Okay.
So like, imagine Navid with a turban, right? So there's the hot cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
This is the physics of it. So that's the distance, right? He would start.
I love it.
What do they call it? ADSR? Is that?
ASMR. ASMR.
ASMR. So someone probably just died from all those.
Listen, this
ASMR
podcast
orgasm.
is now skyrocketing.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So radio broadcasting is where I started. So I've got that in my armory. I can do like presenting, comparing work. But I love all of it, because for me,
I was going to ask you, like, the variety of it all.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that you're never going to. When I think of the other careers I could have done, right? In a parallel universe, I'm a doctor. In a parallel universe, I'm probably the head of a maths department, because I'm 54 now. In another parallel universe, I would be an accountant or an actuary. They are all careers with a very defined career structure, right?
Yes.
You know, you hit your exams or you hit your whatever, blah, blah, blah. We don't have that in our business, right? So I've always said that the offset of the lack of job security is the variety. Because in all those jobs I described, there's not a huge amount of variety. And again, no judgment here. We need all those people. But just the way I'm wired, I think I need to be constantly. It makes me incredibly needy. I need to be stimulated all the time. It makes me very needy. But thankfully, with what I do, like when I think of the jobs I've done in the last 18 months, right? So Department Q,
amazing, by the way. I mean, like that's another one. Like, amazing job.
Well, lovely.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
done.
much. Thank you so much. It was. Because I never trained as an actor, because I've got a maths degree, because I very organically have found myself where I am, I'm always going to feel like a Johnny-come-lately. Like when I used to do River City, which I still kind of, I'm not dead, I'm in London, but when I used to go in, what a brilliant place of work to go, and the best Scottish actors. And they're, chatting away, Sally Howe, Una McLean, Jordan Young, Stephen Fletcher, Stephen Purden, all talking, Leah McRae, Gail Telfer-Stevens, Dawn Steele, by Christ. In what universe would she marry me? River City universe. But they're all talking about jobs they've done, tours they've done, venues they've played. And I'm like, I got nothing.
Wow, that's so interesting. You saying that.
Well, no, but I'm always going to feel like a bit imposter syndrome, because I never had the training. I never had the training.
Like, to be like Navid and like most iconic, one of the most iconic characters, and to do River City and to do Department Q, and you're still feeling like a.
But then I do a job like Department Q, where I'm working with Matthew Good, who is absolutely astonishing actor, and I'm holding my own. We're both being smart arses, kind of like almost jousting with each other. And I watched it back. I thought, maybe give yourself a break, Sand. You did all right there.
Good. I'm glad.
But that's always going to be the case with me. But in terms of variety, though, so I did that. I did Cold Water. I did the Iron Brew advert.
Yes.
Right. I know.
I forgot about that. That's awesome. Another iconic Scottish brand.
I did the. I did The Weakest Link, which has not been out yet. I did The Midsummer Murders, which has not been out yet. So, I mean, I find it hilarious, the variety of work that I've had.
Cool.
And it's nice to be able to. But it's all storytelling in some way or other.
And you're an excellent storyteller. So there's no imposter syndrome going on.
Well, yeah.
You're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You're not. And that's the thing, like, it's one thing, somebody does a programme and it does well or whatever, and they maybe get some stuff off the back of it. That's not this story, because you're absolutely excellent at what you do in all of those realms. You're there because you are great at your job.
Well, I've always said that sometimes it can be about who you know, right? I've always said, though, that luck might get you into the room, but talent keeps you in the room. Because no one's going to give you work for... I mean, I'll joke about it. Oh, they hired me because I tick a few boxes, Specky Asian. Boxes tick. But,
That's not happening.
And I've been really gratified. And that's the other thing as well is... And I still meet actors that say this. They call themselves comedy actors and not actors. They always not. But actually, what I've come to realise is comedy is drama, but with extra stuff.
Yes.
It's the same rules.
Absolutely.
It's the same characterisation, plot, all of that.
And it's...
Oh, and by the way...
It's a skill set that some people can't tap into and don't have.
I think, and this is, I've not done a PhD in this, but my theory is that people who can do comedy, nearly 100% of them could do drama, not always the other way. Not always the other way. I think that's the relationship there. And that's because comedy is drama plus extra stuff. And yet, how many comedies have won an Oscar? I think only Tootsie has won an Oscar.
Wow.
Because it's seen as the poor cousin, And that annoys me.
Yeah.
And you'll possibly appreciate this as well. I mean, I talk to people who are in musical theatre. And they get looked down on.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because they can do everything.
I know. So a triple threat, and that's still deemed as...
I can't sing or dance. So why are you getting... Do you know what I mean? I've never understood that. Never understood that weird snobbery about musical theatre. Because, my God, look at Cynthia Erivo, look at Ariana Grande. Do you know what I mean? It's like... if you want them to take it down... Then they will.
Yes,
of course they will. They don't have to be theatrical.
No.
But the point is they can't.
They could.
I would find it hard to do what they do. But they can go from there to there if you ask them to.
I mean, even like I have the pleasure of choreographing panto.
Yeah.
And, working with actors who can do panto. It's a total skill set. But equally, I know these actors can then go into dramas and be doing stuff at the Tron.
Well, I did my first panto 4 years ago.
Okay.
And just because of my career trajectory going from radio presenter to comedy writer to comedy performer to performer, I'd done very little stage work. I mean, my first actual live show really was Still Game Live at the Hydro.
The Hydro.
Right, do you know what I mean?
No pressure.
From zero to Hydro. That's the name of my book, by the way.
Patting it now.
Yeah. And so I'd never done panto.
Gosh. I'm surprised at that. I would have thought you would have done panto before this.
No, I think, they cast things in April and May and they've got their people. So that's fine. I mean, because I was lucky in that I never had to financially rely on panto, and a lot of actors do. But I never had to. And because it wasn't there in my calendar, I could do other stuff.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are tied up in panto.
Yeah, it's a huge commitment for some pantos. Yeah.
But I did it. And I did worry. I thought, well, I am the most deadpan. I mean, Navid is deadpan, and I'm good at deadpan, and I know I'm good at deadpan. But can I really raise it for? And I was playing Abanazar.
Okay.
And that was hilarious because the reason I got the gig was lovely Gav Mitchell plays Bobby.
Yes.
He got long COVID, so he had to pull out in I think October of that year. So they asked if I would do it. And this had happened before. I was asked to step in at the Kings. But November the 25th, I was asked to step in at the Kings. And this was a few years ago. And in fact, 2014, it was a year of the first Still Game Live. Okay. And I said, look, the Kings doesn't come calling very often, but this can't be my first panto experience, stepping into the Kings in the second week of rehearsals. Because I wouldn't be doing you justice, I wouldn't be doing me justice. I think it would be a disaster. So I said no, and I don't regret that.
Fair enough.
But with the SEC panto, it was October, so I had a bit more time.
Cool.
But they'd already done the press shots. So Gav Mitchell had already been Abanaz in the press shots.
Right.
So what they did was, it was a simple fix, Photoshop, put my head on, and it proportionally looked good, except I was wearing glasses. So if you look on the sides of buses,
yes,
Abanazar's got these glasses, like Morrissey glasses.
Brilliant.
Was that really the best picture you could have picked? Very. Abanazar is myopic. So
And enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. And it proved to myself that I could
do it, yeah.
you know, be bigger. Give it
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's like just filling that space. And for a lot of people in Scotland, like panto is like such like it's a moment in the calendar. Do you know what I mean? It's a big deal. Like, and a lot of actors that have been on this podcast have said like they remember going to see a panto when they're a kid, and it was like totally inspiring them to get on the stage.
Jared Kelly, who I had the absolute pleasure of working with and writing lines for in Fags, Mags and Bags, he, I think, almost single-handedly, turned panto around, because he was one that said, no, we don't sell anyone short. This is important for everyone, and it can work on all the levels, and made panto kind of cool and credible again in a way that it hadn't been for a while. And so that it was just, I'm glad I did panto, and I would do it again. It would, it's availability, it's
just
all these things.
Just fitting it in with all the other things that you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll always I know I can do stage work now, so
great.
Give it a go.
That's exciting. That's like another chapter that could open up for you as and when you wish it to. Are there particular things like on a list that you're like, that'd be quite nice if I had to go at that?
Oh God, I mean, I think I still want to write another thing, maybe semi-improvised.
Okay.
There are people I want to work with. I want to work with. God, there's so many people. I want to work with Kristen Wiig. I want to work with Steve Carell. I want to work with Jack Black. I want to work with Matt Berry. There have been people I have worked with. I was lucky enough to work with Steve Coogan for one day on Stan and Ollie.
Yes.
Yeah. But I didn't have any scenes with Steve Coogan, but I was in the room. That was nice. So there's lots of people that I want to work with. There's lots of things that I want to do. I would love to. I'd love to play a hard man, because I'm so not hard. I'd love to give it a go.
Yeah, cool.
Love to give it a go.
That'd be cool.
I would love to. In fact, this is years ago. God, this must be 2000 actually. 2001. No, it's 2001, because my daughter Ruby was just been born. I wrote and ended up doing the voiceover for a show called Bombay Blush.
Okay.
On Channel 4, and it was like interesting stories from India, and they were talking about the Indian heavy metal scene, because there was one in Bombay. Right. And then this guy, he says, I've been drinking since I was 4 years old. He's the incubus! And the thing was, I had this heavy metal upbringing.
Okay.
Because I was the youngest of three boys. And when I was 10 years old, I was listening to Deep Purple and the Scorpions and Rainbow and Whitesnake and stuff. And I would love to play an Indian heavy metal star.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So
Those become things. Put that in.
I'll probably have to write it for myself. But
do it. Make it happen.
Yeah. No, just the variety of it, and I've been lucky. I've had a bit of variety. But yeah, I still love doing auditions. I feel privileged to get them, and it's the whole self-tape thing now. So.
Would you prefer to be in the room, or do you not mind the self-tape
No,
thing?
I actually quite like doing self-tapes. I've kind of got into this routine of doing it.
Great.
I mean, the disadvantage, you should explain to everyone that in the old days, to do an audition, you had to be in the room with the director and the casting director.
Yeah.
But it's changed now. What they ask is that you send a tape.
Yes.
And you do it on your iPhone.
Whittle it down and then get folk in the room.
And it's great in the sense that you can do multiple takes and pick the best one.
Yes.
But the offset of that is that you're second guessing what they want.
Yes.
So
you're trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what they want.
What do they want? Do they want,
like, what is perfect?
Do they want sarcastic? Do they want Lithuanian?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you're like, I don't like my face in that. I don't like what I did there. Yeah, analysing.
Yeah, and the number of times you're looking at 4 takes and thinking, I like the first half of that one, I like the second half of that one. I don't like how he said one word in that one. Yes. I clearly didn't remember what I was saying in that one. But I don't mind it actually. And I've had an okay hit rate.
Great.
With self tapes. But I'm always flattered to be asked. And I see it as part of the process now. It's like, well, you might not get that job, but it's another casting director that you met.
Absolutely.
Not met, but,
Of course, yeah, totally.
So, yeah.
It's all adding to the story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And being a father and thinking back to you as a young person and that people-pleasing and that pressure for academia and trying to figure out who you are, what is your message to your young people in your life, or even just generally young people?
Well, I've told one of them to do medicine, one to do law, one to do accountancy. and that's what's happening.
And look after the father.
No, I
His old
said,
age.
to them, look, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I would like you to go to university, not because, for any status thing, just because that's where I found my voice, and it was fun. And also, please just do something that you think you might enjoy, and don't think that that's the career path you're going to do anyway, because I can't be a hypocrite. I started a medical degree and did a master degree, and look what I'm doing now.
But there's no wrong path then.
There's no wrong path. I just want, so I've got 3 kids, and they're now 24, 21, and 18. Gosh. All I ask is that they be good humans, polite, just kind, and okay, there's 2 things. They had to be able to swim, so they can all swim.
Somebody who can't swim.
Right, okay.
Correct.
I'm a shite swimmer.
I can't. I need to go and get lessons.
If I
As a
swim a
42-year-old, I
length,
still can't swim.
it takes about half an hour and there's no water left in the pool. So clearly an inefficient swimmer.
I like this life.
But also I really wanted them all to, I made them do piano lessons.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because I wanted that bit of their brain.
That's another thing. I'm like, damn it, I should have...
Big regret of mine
Yeah,
was,
me too.
because I am musical, but not formally trained, and
too.
I have written songs and I have performed in versions of bands, but I would love to play. Well, I'd love to be John Lord.
I'd just like to be able to go and sit at any piano and just be like, right, let's start
I
a song.
was at Queen Street Station today, and I wish I could have just jumped on.
I know, me too. Every time I see a piano, I have the same thought. Yeah. It's annoying.
Do you not play anything then?
I play guitar. I say that. I play enough to sing.
Yeah.
But I'm not a guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't stick in.
Basically, I want to be Prince. And now he's away, there's a slot. There's a slot.
This feels like the whole... We're going back to Sheena Easton somehow. I'm just saying.
You got the look, you got the hook. Shouldn't you be cooking?
And you could be Prince, I could be Sheena Easton.
Yeah. Let's do it now. I would honestly, Prince is the one person I've ever stalked.
Is that right?
Yeah. Do you want to hear the story?
Yes.
Okay, strap in.
If we're going out, we're going out in Prince.
Okay, so 1992, I've just graduated from uni. I'm having the best summer of my life. And Prince comes to Glasgow and he plays Parkhead. So I've got a friend called Shabina. She won't remember me saying this. Prince daft, right? She used to write with a purple pen, which she carried in her handbag.
Yes.
And she also said, I don't go out with boys because I'm saving myself for Prince.
Wow, that is commitment.
Well, good luck with that, Shabina. And so anyway, what it meant was that we all bought tickets, and she queued, I think, from 4 a.m. to get in. So we got to the front. So I'm at the front at the actual chicken wire at Parkhead, and it was a sexy MF tour. And there was Prince and the New Power Generation, which I always thought sounded like a electric company, didn't it?
Yes.
We've come to read your meter. We are the New Power Generation. Where's your gas meter? So we're at the front, and it was like a religious experience because like they were basically like 12 yards away, and Shabina had brought a purple tulip with her, right? Okay, and she said, Sanjeev, how can you throw her? And I said, well, I play a bit of cricket. I mean, I've not got the best throwing arm, but could you tuck the tulip at Prince? So I'll give it a go, Shabina, right? So I went like that, yeah, and he went dunk and landed at Prince's feet. And he picked it up and he sang Nothing Compares to You, holding Shabina's tulip, not a euphemism. So like this just added to the kind of religious kind of experience, right?
It's amazing.
And it was just an amazing gig anyway, right? So gig finishes, we're like, oh, can you believe that just happened? And because we're right at the front, we're last to leave as well. So while we're waiting just for the stadium to empty, the stage manager comes over and he's got one of those J-Lo mics on.
Yes.
And he goes to one of the younger, attractive female members of our entourage, the Bander and the Marriott. So a bunch of mostly Asian men
off we go
rock
to
up
the
at the
Marriott.
Marriott. Right? I think there was three given 20 guys. Not what they were expecting, but we all rock up at the Marriott. Now, Prince wasn't there, but the band were. Like Diamond and Pearl were the backing singers. I got a wee peck on the cheek from Diamond.
You've never washed your face since.
Never washed my face since. I'm slightly darker on that side, you know.
Gosh.
And the band were all there, like Tony the rapper, Rosie Gaines, Closer Than Close, because she was singing on that tour.
Wow.
Because she sings on Diamonds and Pearls. She sang on that whole album.
I love that song.
Yeah. And Get Off and all those tunes.
Yeah.
And Levi Cecil, the guitarist, Tommy Barbarella, the keyboard player.
Wow.
And we're all hanging about. And then we end up at the Volcano nightclub in Partick, as was then.
As one does.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, in the club, Bobby Bluebell is having a Prince night because Prince was in town.
Yes.
And the new Power Generation show up at the Volcano nightclub.
People's minds are
do you know what I
blown.
mean? So I'm standing there like, what the hell is happening here?
Totally.
I'm with Shabina and Tommy Barbarella, the keyboard player.
That's wild.
They used to be like a... So 1999 is coming blasting through the doors.
Yes.
And we're with the new Power Generation.
That's mad.
And there used to be... what do you call it? A fast food van that sat outside, and we used to call it Salmonella Sids, right? And Shabina and Tommy are eating burgers at this, and so Tommy, like, he's long, really nice guy, long hair. He was all lace, and in the kind of Prince way, all lace and jewels.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, so Glasgow, so like you guys really like Prince, huh? This is like so wow. And Shabina's, I don't really like Prince. Are you enjoying your hot dog? Yeah, I think. And Levi Cecil, the guitarist, he comes out and he's a really cool dude. He looks like a blues man. He's got a waistcoat, he's got a hat with a playing card in it. I'm going to say that, but that's...
We're getting the vibe.
I think possibly I've misremembered
That's
that.
okay.
I think I'm gaslighting myself there, but let's go with that.
It's
Let's go with that, right?
I can
But
see
he's
it.
that guy. He's that guy.
He's that
And
guy.
an amazing
He
guitarist
could get
as well.
away with that if he wanted.
I mean, if you think about the solo on the Sexy MF, one of the best blues solos. Anyway, that's another podcast.
I digress.
So he comes out, right, and he's kind of stomping his feet. He's really aggravated about something. So Tommy says, yeah, like, so Levi's kind of losing his shit. I better go and check out Levi. So he goes, and I'm like, Shabina, like that, eyes like hubcaps. The fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? And meanwhile, you know, bloody like little red Corvettes coming out of the volcano.
That's mental.
So then Tommy comes back and says, yeah, so like Levi's really pissed because I think like one of your friends is like 15 years old. And then he's like, 15 years old, jailbait. So I'm thinking two things. Either Levi has got a very good moral backbone and the minute he's found out she's 15, he's walked away, or he's got form. I don't know. But anyway, thankfully he walked away.
Say
yeah.
no.
And the weird thing was that the next day, I didn't find this out until a week later because a friend of mine saw this because she was on the bus, because she was a dental student, right? And she was on the bus to the dental school, right? Going along Kelvin Grove. And she sees Shabina playing lawn bowls with Tommy Barbarella from the new Power Generation at Kelvin Grove Park. He's like, wow. Right, Tommy, this is the jack, right? And then these heavy ones, they curve that way and that way as well. And she's like,
I mean, you had me at the julep, and then the story just went.
So, but that is only the beginning of the story in a way, because a full year after that, me and my best mate Arif from uni went traveling around America. So this is when I'd left my PhD and I was a bit directionless, and I had a bit of money saved up. So me and my mate went traveling around America, and one of the things I wanted to do was go to Minneapolis to visit Paisley Park, like a pilgrimage, right?
Yeah.
So my dad, being my dad, knew everyone everywhere. He had friends in most American cities. So he had a family friend called Dr. Modi that used to live in Bishopbriggs, and he lived in Minneapolis now, right? So me and Arif were staying with them, having lovely family meals and hanging out with the family. But we also hired the cheapest hire car we could get, which is throbbing red pillar box Toyota Corolla, to go looking for Paisley Park. So, because remember Dr. Woody, what is Paisley Park? I said, oh, it's where Prince, who is Prince? Oh, no, mind, it's fine. It's fine, Uncle. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be back for dinner. We're just going to Paisley Park.
I just got to see Prince.
Yeah, so we jump in the car, right? And the thing is, this is 1993, so it's pre-sat-nav, pre-internet, pre-anything.
Yes.
We've got maps out and stuff.
Wow.
And we're looking for this area called Chanhassen. That's where it was, Chanhassen in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a weird place.
Okay.
And we find it. And Chanhassen can be best described as the Hillingdon of Minneapolis. It's like if you're buying tiles, you'd go to Chanhassen. And then, oh, by the way, there's a plumbers merchant. Do you know what I mean?
Industrial estate.
And there's a, anyway, it's that kind of place, industrial estate.
Okay.
But then there is Paisley Park looking beautiful and minimalist and gorgeous.
Gosh.
And the car park, there's no security. It's like we just drive in this
Like,
throbbing red Corolla. We're just going to drive in and we're going to park here.
Somebody's going to come and tell us to move.
Well, basically that was the kind of strategy was we'll sit here till we get told not to sit here. So we're sitting there in this red car, right? It didn't make that noise, but it may as well have done.
Damn it, I really wanted to make that out.
And there's a Corvette. It wasn't a little red Corvette. It was a mustard Corvette.
Oh.
I think it must have been Prince's car. I think he was in there rehearsing, right? So we said, what should we do, Arif? Let's just sit here. Let's just see what happens. Because what's the worst thing that could happen? We'll be asked to leave, right? And then an hour passed and no one did anything. The whole time we're thinking, because the worst thing we could have done was go to reception, because then we would have been huckled. Yeah. So
stay still.
Yeah. So then this 4x4 comes in, and it's the new power generation, right?
Like, it's our pals.
Yeah. So they drive in, right, and it's Tony Tubbs, and it's Tony the rapper. I think Tony Tubbs is the drummer. Rosie Gaines, Tommy Barbarella, Levi Caesar. Fucking drive in.
Please don't tell me that you're making this up and you're
I
fooling
promise
me
you.
again.
I promise you.
Because
No.
this is such a good story.
I promise
this
you.
This is incredible.
I promise you, this is all true.
I love this.
So they drive in, right? I'm like, Arif, I know. So they park and they all jump out. So clearly Prince is in there and they've gone to jam or rehearse or whatever, right? Okay.
Cool stuff.
So I'm like, what do we do, Arif? I don't know. And I just, and Tommy had these kind of big, massive headphones on. So I sort of jumped out of the car and I went, Tommy! And he went like this. Glasgow?
Yes!
Yeah. So he comes over, right? And he poses for pictures. Like, what are you guys doing here? Are you come to play bowls? I said, and I couldn't very well say we popped out for milk. I said,
no,
well,
actually,
as you know, we're Prince fans, and we kind of wanted to see Paisley. That's so cool.
That's
so cool. And they just let you in the car park. I didn't say that. Because, okay, that's really cool. And then so Levi Caesar had gone to walk on. And Tommy shouted after Levi, he said, hey, Levi, Glasgow. And he didn't even turn around. He said, she was 15 years old and walked into Paisley Park.
Wow.
And then the rest of the band went in and a very, very, very friendly security guard asked us to leave.
Jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
What
so
a story.
Prince is the only man I've ever stalked. And I didn't really even get to see him.
But you did it.
Aye.
Very successfully. That's incredible. Sanjeev,
Have I answered any of your questions?
This has been an absolute... from the bottom of my heart, this has been a total dream. I've loved it.
A cheese dream.
A
fever dream.
I've totally loved it.
Did this actually happen?
I'm like, is it happening? I've had such a lovely time. You're an amazing, amazing storyteller. And I know how precious your time is. I know with your talent and with how much you're in demand. So the fact that you came to do this and did it so brilliantly, I can't thank you enough.
The clips I've seen of the podcast are really nice, and you're very engaging and very, you create a lovely atmosphere for people
that's
to
very kind, but I hugely appreciate it. I do not say this lightly. You are Braw and Brave, equal measures and beyond. Whatever you do,
let's smash those words together. I'm Brav.
Yeah,
I'm Brav.
You're a Braw bag.
I'm a Braw bag.
Yeah.
I am a Braw bag.
You are.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm just, I look forward to seeing what exciting things you get up to next. But this has been a total moment for me and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
And on that note, thank you so much for watching The Braw and the Brave. Be sure to check us out on the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram and Patreon. And I know you'll have enjoyed this episode as much as me. So please join us next time. And